Hey everyone, I'm here with Bobby Lee, the CEO of BTCC, and he's here to tell us a little bit about what's happening in China with Bitcoin. So let's start off. I want to ask Bobby how you got into Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I got into Bitcoin a little over 6 years ago, actually. My brother Charlie introduced me to Bitcoin and started talking about why Bitcoin is valuable. It was a new technology, computer science problem, how to solve it, and it really got us, questioning what makes something valuable. What is money? Why is gold valuable? So Charlie and I were early investors in gold, so we had some basic knowledge of that, why it's valuable. And then we got to also about Bitcoin mining. So I purchased some Bitcoin mining equipment and started mining in the summer of 2011.
Oh wow, that's really early on.
Yeah, it was quite early. It was using at the time it was using graphics cards. I remember going up buying graphics cards, and then every shop I went to, or several shops I went to in a row, their graphics cards were just all sold out, just like the day before. So apparently people got hint of Bitcoin mining. They're buying up all the AMD graphics cards.
Yeah, just like right now.
Yeah, even now I hear that it's still happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you want to start an exchange then? So you were starting with mining, and then you were talking about gold and sort of value. Why an exchange?
Yeah. So at the time, actually, I didn't start a company yet. So 2011, I was still working for Walmart, global e-commerce in China. It wasn't until after I left Walmart in early 2013, I decided to, instead of look for a job, I decided to, maybe I should do a startup. And at the time, I thought that if I do a startup, it would have to be in Bitcoin. So that's when I contacted my two co-founders of BTC China. So they were already running a site at the time called btcchina.com, and it was China's very first exchange. And I thought that would be a great platform for me to start a company, to work together with them, partner with them to do that. So that was in early 2013. And the rest is history. We've been running for the company for over 6 years now. We just celebrated our 6-year anniversary.
Congratulations!
In June, and I've been on board as CEO for the last four and a half years.
Wow, that's super fun. So you're one of the very first exchanges in China.
Yes,
did you meet
the first
BTC Bitcoin exchanges in China? Did you meet any regulatory hurdles or problems when you come into China?
No, it was always a little bit murky. So in 2013, 2014, 2011, 2012, 2013, there was no regulatory guidance. Bitcoin we knew was a digital asset. It was this online digital currency. There was no regulation strictly in terms of, is it money, is it currency? It wasn't until end of 2013 that the government and the PBOC central bank finally issued a sort of guidance statement on it. So before that, it was all on the lowdown. I remember in May of 2013, there was a huge CCTV sort of video clip. I think it's 50-minute or half an hour segment about Bitcoin mining. And that was quite interesting. It got people excited about Bitcoin. But at the time, we're like, oh man, what's going to happen? We don't know if there's going to be crackdown or not. So certainly back then, it was quite unsure.
So you've been living on the edge for quite a while.
Yeah.
So what's the current status of Bitcoin right now? So is it a currency, a commodity?
It's a digital asset. Okay. In China, they call it a digital asset. The whole notion of cryptocurrency is a digital asset. And the reason is that so basically it's not recognized as a currency in China. Yeah.
And I think there's a limitation of that. So if I go down and I'm a shop, can I accept Bitcoin? Is that allowed, legally speaking?
I don't think it is. I think in China, very strictly, only the renminbi is allowed.
Yes.
Even if you try to spend Hong Kong dollars or US dollars, that's not allowed. Stores and merchants are not allowed to accept any currency other than the local Chinese renminbi currency.
Right. And I think there's because we met some regulatory hurdles with Dash as well, because Dash wants to be digital cash, but it's very, very difficult to come into China. So on that note, how do you add additional currency? And how do you decide what other currencies, cryptocurrencies to add to your platform?
Yeah, we picked the good ones. So over the years, we've added, we start with Bitcoin, we've added Litecoin. We've recently also added Ethereum Classic. Yeah, and we'll continue to add more over time. And down the road, we may even add some ICO type currencies.
Oh, wow, cool.
Tokens, rather.
Right. Because I saw your Twitter tweet before about, what should we add?
Exactly.
And there's a huge community push for every currency to go on BTCC.
Yeah.
And also, so would you be considering adding Dash for any time?
I think Dash was one of the choices we're looking at, but we don't have a concrete plan yet. We'll probably go back to the users and see what they want.
Right. And you guys have an international version of BTCC as well, right? So how do people sign up for that?
Yeah, so we started as BTC China. That's our China. That's our namesake. That is our Chinese exchange. BTC China will be focused for the China market, and the reason we need to do this delineation is that the China market links into the China banking system, which by definition will be regulated and controlled by the PBOC. So for our China business, we operate under the BTC China branding, B2B 中国, and that's all linked to the renminbi system that will eventually get licensed by, I guess we're working with the PBOC on the licensing and regulation aspect. I don't want to comment on the future stuff. The international site is btcc.com. So that's all the international stuff. That's nothing specific for China.
Okay.
So we have a new digital asset exchange on that called DAX, so BTCC DAX. That's on the btcc.com site.
Right, and I saw that with Ethereum going for Bitcoin.
Ethereum Classic, and we'll add more over time.
Awesome. That sounds pretty exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
Can Chinese people access the international version then?
In some sense, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some, depends on access to banking and all that stuff. So there's some limitations.
Yeah, there you go. Also, the last thing is for Chinese exchanges, there's a huge push for know your customer right now.
Of course.
Is that going to become a more regulatory things to me?
It is. The reason we're doing the KYC know your customer approach is because the regulation requires it. So even though Bitcoin has not been formally regulated yet, we know the path is towards regulation. Will involve KYC, know your customer, involves looking out for anti-money laundering.
Okay.
So we're following the rules as best we can.
I see. Lastly, your comment on Bitcoin Cash. So we have a fork coming up on August the 1st.
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly. So any comments at all? Or?
I've read a lot of the updates and news about Bitcoin Cash. A couple of things. It's too early to speculate on how successful it will be. I think the people who want to do it, I guess, really want to do it. So there's a lot of hoopla, a lot of talk about it. So I'm cautious. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
to fork off in August 1st.
It's so much drama right now in the community, and I've been following that nonstop. And one last question: so, what do you think of this current ICO trend right now? So, we've seen a lot of ICOs getting millions of dollars. Tesla's raised 200 million US. It's just more than that. I think that's insane. What do you think of this climate right now?
Yeah, I think it's a new wave. It's basically what technology allows. If you think about Bitcoin going back. For the first time in history, with the invention of Bitcoin 8.5 years ago, we now have a way to pass value, to transfer real value through information alone. That means, Michael, if I'm close by right now, I can give you money in the form of paper money or gold coins or whatever that's valuable. I can give you an iPhone. But when we're far apart, it's hard for me to send you that stuff without relying on a third party, whether it's a messenger, whether it's a bank, whether it's a shipping service. But now, with the advent of Bitcoin and digital currency solutions, we could have clients running on each side, and we could give each other value through the Bitcoin blockchain, through what we call the public blockchain.
Yes. And
that is very, very unique. So that's revolutionary. So basically, Bitcoin allows us to give value by information alone. Think about by providing the private key or using the private key to encrypt a message, and that is the value. In the past, the internet allowed people to communicate by passing information electronically. Now, the Bitcoin network is allowing people to pass value electronically.
And that's huge.
And that's huge. That's a huge game changer. For the most part, in our everyday life, it hasn't affected our daily lives yet. But we're at the forefront of this, so we know what the potential is, and that's why we're in this business during a startup. Same with ICO. So the reason I mentioned Bitcoin is because it's a similar model. With ICO, we're saying in the old days, how do businesses, ventures raise money? I don't care if it's debt or equity or whatever membership financing. It's through real old school, old methods of fundraising. It's people to people, shaking hands, meeting people, each other. But now with this new age where we can pass money electronically, all of a sudden you could do fundraising electronically.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's crowdfunding, whether it's token funding and all that stuff, you could do all of that electronically. And that's what the ICO sort of invention, ICO revolution is all about. So now people could raise money from around the world. You could do that just with an ICO. And we'll see this technology affect not just fundraising, will affect many aspects of our lives, whether it's donations. So imagine disaster relief, whether it's a scientific research. So, for example, funding the NASA space program. It used to be a national affair, but in the future, you could have people all over the world who believe in NASA's mission, whether it's a mission to the Mars, a mission to outside of the solar system. People can fund it. You can have people in Africa, people in Europe sending money to NASA to fund that program. And this is where we're talking about global movement of value of money without borders, without control, without authorization, without people stopping it or getting a cut in the middle. So this is what makes the whole public blockchain, the whole Bitcoin revolution very interesting.
Yeah, it's a great view of it. I love your view on it. So I hope to see exciting things with funding with ICOs in the future. Hopefully it grows steadily before everything explodes, but fingers crossed for that.
Yeah.
So I think I finished asking the questions I want to do. Bobby, do you want to plug anything about BTCC?
So yeah, we have a few things. We have the DAX exchange, that's new. Also something very exciting is our Mobi Wallet. So Mobi is a global wallet. It's a hosted wallet based on phone numbers. So that means that you could download your Mobi app on your iOS iPhone or an Android phone. It's global. It comes in 15 different languages. We support over 150 currencies. And we actually have users from all around the world, literally from 169 countries. People are using Mobi today. Oh, wow. Mobi is a Bitcoin-based wallet. You could convert to any other currency. You can even move. For example, you could move money. You could transfer to other currencies. And it's Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. And I'll show you. It even comes with a Visa card. So this is a Mobi Visa card. So it comes with a Visa card, and this means I'm going to cover my number.
Yeah.
It means that you could charge things, buy things in stores with the Mobi Visa card. You could pay for things. You can get cash at ATM. Oh, wow. It converts straight from the Bitcoin bits to whatever currency you're using, all through the Mobi system. And we just launched this not just for USD, but we'll also launch it for the British pound and also for the euro. So depending on which country you live in, you can order the card with Mobi Wallet. Go to the Mobi website, www.mobi.me. That's mobi.me. And that's how you download it, or search for Mobi Bitcoin in the App Store or Google Play. Oh, so it's both on iOS and it's approved already? It's on? Yeah, it's on there. Wow. Okay, I'm definitely going to check that out. We launched it in March. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's been very popular. A lot of people love it. It's very innovative because now you can send money to anyone in the world. Right. So before with other sites, you have to have someone has to be logged into PayPal. They have to have an account. They have to have your app. But Mobi, you can send money just even before they download the app. You can send money to their phone number. Oh. So now it's like sending. Before it used to be sending Bitcoins or sending digital currencies is a very complicated affair. You have to ask them to give you the address. You have to check the address. But now you have friends and family all around the world. You know their mobile phone number, and they just send them money by knowing the phone number. That's what we call a Mobi. It's sending money through mobile phone numbers. Oh. And you can send Bitcoin, you can send US dollars, Hong Kong dollars, whatever currency you want in the world. Awesome. So it's very, very easy. And once they receive it, they can spend it however they want. Oh, wow. That's cool. I'm going to check that out. Okay, good. Thanks for telling me that, Bobby. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.